Yes. Great. So let me get started. So my name is Katarina, and I want to. What I'm going to be talking today is how to systematize social proof in your business, an easy, fast, and scalable way, right, to get more testimonials, especially on your line of work, right? If you want, we will be able to send you all the slides, so you don't have to worry much.
Just get one to positions.
Oh yeah. Yes. Great. So Harold, so I know your name. So can you just introduce yourself, like company, what's your biggest challenge? Because especially for you and your wife, I am sure like you guys have clients. So what are your challenges when trying to ask for testimonials, or even like what you would like to learn today?
Well, a lot of these people have tax problems, and they don't necessarily want to advertise themselves to the public as having had tax issues. So what we've done so far is just like use a first name and a last initial, and say the town or the area they live in, what no photos. And just very general statements of endorsement.
Okay.
Nothing specific.
Yes. So what I'm gonna cover and the way that I structure is based on those questions, right? Like I just get vague, like how to get something that's a little bit more specific and so on. But since you introduced yourself, now it's my turn.
Sure.
So my name is Katarina Monnier, and I really, I was put in this earth, that's my belief, to let people voice it themselves. Right? My background is in journalism. I moved to the United States. I'm originally from Brazil, and 20 years ago, and being able to communicate, right, especially changing language and culture, that always fascinated me. And then testimonials speaks very deep to me because, right, like every person has their worldview, the way that they're perceived, like their experience, their problem, what they go through it. And if you will find ways to get that out of, your clients, right? You can go and brag about your business as much as you want, but have somebody, narrating their experience, it's way better, right? So I am, again, background journalism and marketing, have 12 years of experience. And then let me show you something, because I want to show you, so Flow Online Marketing, we are an agency. Where is that? Where is the portfolio? So we do pretty much like visual communications, a lot of newsletters, social media, paid ads, you name it, right? So that's a little bit about us. But again, like more and more, we see it. It's getting harder to get leads, right? And establish yourself. So social proof nowadays is your growth engine. You can, again, brag as much as you want, but if you show proof, that's what convert. And it's pretty easy to see. 97% of people that have watched a testimonial video, to learn about the company, their services. So by putting effort in creating videos, you are sure, to keep educating and eventually convert those prospects, right? 92% of consumers, they trust recommendations from people over brand messaging. And 47% of the marketeers, they consider video testimonials their most trusted content in late stage buying journey. So anyways, so there's tons of stats. It's very, very easy to see why testimonials are important. In business, they do understand that. However, and then that's where it comes in. The problem is not why they should be doing, it's how they should be doing, right? So far, most businesses, they do struggle on collecting and using testimonials consistently. I don't know if it happened to you to go to a website and they're like, oh my gosh, and they're like, the testimonials are there, super old pictures, old links to the website that doesn't exist anymore. So that's why the importance to always keep refreshing and have new testimonials. And my goal today is to guide you through a journey, right? So until this point, most in people, they have no system. They have testimonials here or there, right? They miss a lot of opportunities. Even when they ask, they have really low rates. And then what I want to do today is to walk you through our 9 steps way for you to collect those testimonials, right? So we have tons of tools to give it to you and show you how to use. And then I want you to like, okay, my website has, like very specific, good testimonials that convert. I have tons of, like options to choose from and so on. And then once you implement the system, my goal is for you to make sure that your clients sell for you, right? You don't have to like, oh yeah, funny, so watch this video about my client, and then let them do the selling, get tons of, again, content, have plenty, position yourself as an authority, and free up of your time, right? So that is the goal that I have today. I want you to introduce you a local nonprofit that we've been working on. It's called Alchemist, and I do have a video of them.
So you're based here in Sacramento area?
Yes, in Rockland. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes, but we cater here as well as Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to show you like the Alchemist.
Kitchen Incubator Program, and that is a long-term business incubator. We work with businesses one-on-one for up to 5 years, and we supply them with coaching and resources, and really whatever we can do to help the businesses become stable, secure, because the first 5 years of a business is really the most treacherous, dangerous.
So this is about them, right? And their clients, because they train food entrepreneurs from low-income community, we build the system, and the system looks like this. We have a lot of like visuals that they can apply in different ways, right? So on their printed material, invoices, boxes, flyers, you notice we have QR codes leading to places where they can give the testimonials. That is for the printed material. Then we have online, we also create a lot of like assets requesting people to your food story matters, share now, where they do like sequences of emails, social posts, pop-ups, paid ads, and with buttons that leads to the platform where they leave the testimonials. As you can see now, your journey with Alchemist Kitchen could be at the nugget someone needs, your voice inspires, sharing. So those are the type of assets that are really important when somebody gives you a praise. But we're gonna go over soon. Again, like we have tons of testimonials that we collect for them, and then in a nutshell, this is our 9 steps, and I'm gonna guide you through. The first is, so we have 3 main blocks. First we need to plan, we need to create, and we need to promote. And then each one has 3 steps. So, and how we are gonna introduce each step is based on the questions that we hear the most, right? And then one of them is what to do when you hate bothering your clients. Does that happen to you? Like, oh, you have somebody, and then like, do you feel confident in asking them to leave a testimonial to you?
Well, the main hang-up, as I say, is that a lot of this is relatively confidential kind of relationship or sensitive situation that we represent them in like tax resolution if somebody's owing a lot of money to the IRS and trying to strike a deal with the IRS or a payment plan. So if there's reluctance, it's based on somebody might be shy about making their situation, and so we might be reluctant to ask them.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So.
And then if you have to ask them, how would you go about it?
Well, I don't think we'd ask everybody, but
which is a
what
good
we
thing.
have done so
Which is a
far,
good thing, right?
What we've done so far, we've only done this with like 3 people actually.
Okay.
Just write up a proposed statement of endorsement and see whether they're okay with it. And then, as I say, don't include a photo or a last name. So we don't ask them to, and these are just written. We don't have any video.
Okay. So again, like people, they don't ask for different reasons, right? One of them is fear of rejection, shyness, inconsistency, procrastination, perfectionism, and even know-how, right? Sometimes we don't know it. So let me give you this. So we have a QR code here, which leads to this page here. So we do have a library, as you can see, of a lot of different tools, and that's for each stage, right? To plan, to create, and to promote. And then if you scan your QR code, it's gonna lead to this page, and then you can kind of pretty much click and have access to it, okay? But one of the things that it leads there, let me see, where is it? Is an assessment that we have, because again, there are 7 mental blocks, and once we understand each one is in your way, and probably your wife is a little bit different, or your team members are different, it's always nice to understand each one is, so that's why we have this quiz and assessment. And then the second one is, again, we have 5 mental shifts that we encourage people to do it. And the first one, I think, is the most important, because most business, they come I understand testimonials are good for my business, I'm gonna ask. Which in reality is wow, my client went through a transformation, right? Especially if you own a business, if you are against IRS, if you own, and then you go through the whole process of minimizing that or get relief from, that's a big journey that a lot of people should know about it. And if you come from a way that instead of I'm bothering my client, just give me an endorsement, towards hey, I want to honor your experience. When you came here 6 months ago, you were behind, you owe that much, and then now we are able to do that much.
It's a good point. It's usually more than 6 months. Actually, it usually takes 2 years.
Yes,
sometimes.
So it's a big transformation, right? All the touch points.
No, that's a really good point.
And so this is on this section. There is more to it, right? But it's important to honor their experience, right? And then by leading with wow, do you recall that 2 years ago you came and then now you are only paying 30% of what you owe? What do you feel about it? What a relief, right? Great. And then so there are ways for you to go, but the most important one is how you honor your client and their journey, and then you must lead the way into that. So what we do, again, we have a lot of tools, reputation assessment, credibility, so you can go put your name online. So those tools, it's going to help you first see where you're at, right? The second stage is I don't know what to ask, or when I get testimonials are very vague. And the main reason why is, again, what's my intent in asking for testimonials, right? So where am I gonna put it? How am I gonna leveraging? What am I asking? So what we do, every client that has a problem, they go through a journey, which we call the customer journey, right? We have the awareness, consideration, acquisition, servicing, and loyalty. And each step of these, we do have touch points, right? So, are you based in Sacramento?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Elk Grove. So Elk Grove. So I have a business, and then I'm gonna search. Hopefully, I can find you. And how are you going to bring awareness about your business, right? In what channel of communication? It's gonna be the Google Maps, it's gonna be your website, it's gonna be paid ads, it's gonna be social media. You have different channels where you can put those testimonials, and in each one of them, the awareness phase would be something like, hey, I own, as a woman, I own a business here in Elk Grove, and I really don't like numbers. I really need somebody that was in my team going over, because I own a lot of money, and it was a great relief to just pay, instead of everything that I own, only 30% out in a 2 years window. A lot of back and forth. It was a relief to have a professional next to me, guiding me. And Harold and his wife was absolutely amazing through a lot of stress. But now my business is healthy because of the support. I have my doors open because of them. If we had such a testimonial in that awareness, do you think more people would be willing to learn?
I think a testimony like that would be very effective. Actually.
Yes, right? So, and then consideration is kind of like would be, do you know what, like tax, especially on, do you know, I was behind, but like on the IRS, so I ended up not planning myself well, and partner with Harold and his wife was great, because at first I was hesitant, but they helped me save so much more. It was the value, it was pennies on the dollar for me. So if you find somebody to give you that testimonial, that piece of content is gonna help somebody like, should I test them or not, right? Or even on that consideration phase, Harold, would be, hey, I wasn't sure, right? Like tax is something and finances are something so personal. But once I went through the introductory call that Harold and his wife offered, I feel confident. We bonded. He answered all my questions, and that was the first step in making a decision. And I do not regret, because they helped me save 70% of what I owe. If you are, like considering taxes, I highly encourage you to try the free introductory call with them, and see if it's you. Hope so, because it did for me. So that type of content is going to help you with somebody that's considering your business, right? And then you make an acquisition, and it's like, hey, the way that once I decide to go with Harry and his wife, we went through. They have a portal, which is very helpful, right? They guide me how to upload all my documents. They make sense of all the papers, that any business have, which I don't like it. So it was a very streamlined. From time to time, we had 30 minutes phone call, very easy. They educate me through the process, and that's how it goes. And then you keep going, right? And then so the way that we think of testimonials, it's what am I gonna ask that I'm gonna have an output, and then I'm gonna play into my sequence. On your one of the resources that we have is the content strategy Google Sheet. I'm gonna show you. That looks like this. And then you can kind of like plan around, right, for each stage, what type of content you can ask about it, and so on. These translate into this. So that is for flow, right? The way that we do it, we get like videos from our clients, and then we put it here onto our sequence of emails. And videos inside emails are super powerful, right? Because they click, they see somebody, they see a face, and they're like, so it helps with engagement. Another thing too, going back to you, is in your case, right, taxes, people, they don't want to advertise, right? So it is, the happy customers are the one that, okay, everybody, it's obvious, everybody asks, right? And then usually they self-select, like, oh my gosh, that was so good, Harry, like I'll do everything for you guys and your wife. And but then you have like other layers, like staff, right? Or even you could be giving a testimonial, in a sense, like share your story, like.
Well, actually, St. Partners Collaborators, we do have, folks who will refer clients to us, other tax people,
Yes.
attorneys,
Yeah.
realtors. So
That is great.
That might be actually the most fruitful avenue for us. I hadn't thought about that, but that
Yeah.
might be the most fruitful thing, because then we're not actually identifying by face and voice the folks who've been in the predicament.
Yes.
But that's actually an interesting idea.
Another thing too, and then like I sometimes even do it, right? So they have those marketing gurus, and they talk about problems. So I get a clip of them like, hey, don't take my word for it. Here's the guru telling about promise is overstated. Like, we need to focus on proof. I'm not saying he's saying. So sometimes I get clips, even of people talking about problems, right? Or even news. You can also use news, like, did you know the IRS, like in America, zillions of people own that much money? Well, are you one of those? If you are, we come to us, right? Like, there are ways for you always leverage information and people as well.
Yeah.
So example, as you said, the partners and collaborations, like, hey, my name is Katarina, I'm a realtor, and usually what we see in real estate is that people, they owe money in the IRS, or they get loans or liens against the house, and then they get themselves in big trouble. For me, like, we try to make the best transaction for the real estate, but they do need education, like somebody that knows what they're talking in terms of taxes. Harry and his wife they have the business. We always refer because of this and that, and that they are our primary choice. So if you're in this situation, like, it doesn't have to. So you can for sure leverage partners and collaborators, or people just to talk about the problem, like taxes. If you go in and talk to any business, they are gonna say, like, yes, the importance of having somebody qualified, such as yourself and your wife. So that is another questions that I see a lot, like, okay, but like, who people, they don't want to do it. Like, it's so funny, there is a friend, he also owns business, and he talks about like herbs. Like, nobody's gonna say like, hey, I have herbs. How to do this about it? And you just say like, hey, go use the pictures, like before and after. You don't have to show people, but like this or how people use. You can also record voice as well, and then I will show you how. That is also very powerful, right? See what the podcast became.
Voice without a picture, without
Yes,
person.
without a picture. And I will show you how. So now we are going towards the third step, which is how to craft that asking, right? How do I ask for testimony without feeling pushed or awkward? One thing that you told me that was very nice, we don't ask everybody. So once I heard that, I thought, oh, maybe Harry and his wife, they do have this qualification process, right? Which is, how has your experience been so far with us? Is there something else that we should be doing? Oh no, everything's great, Harry. Actually, like, I'm very happy with you. And they're like, okay, that's a good clue for you to, I'm so glad to hear that. That, you know, like, we were able to take the load of taxes off of your shoulder, or whatever they say, right? Here. We are putting together a few client stories to help others understand what it's like to work with us. Would you be open to sharing a quick testimonial? And then don't worry, because you can record videos, send a voice note, or even like a quick reply text, whatever is easier for you. It's important because your story could help someone else going through the same decision, right? So it's very important to qualify. And then here we have two things. One is the form request copy. So this helps you, it's an AI agent. So that is something that you mentioned that you're already doing, right? Like, kind of like Cassie, like, hey, is there something else that how has been your experience with us? Is that something that you ask your clients from time to time, especially after a win?
Not in that phraseology, but you know, we basically ask, would you mind having a endorsement? Or would you mind backing up an endorsement if we actually, as I say, we kind of write something out and say we'd be okay with having this put in your mouth. But we don't actually use this kind of formal request language. I mean, it's very good.
Yeah, one thing that Harry, that it's the words, especially like being a foreigner, languages and words, they matter.
Yeah.
So endorsement is different than testimonial, right? In a sense that, like, an endorsement is kind of like, yeah, thumbs up, right? Like, hey, I vouch for this person, but there's no transformation behind.
Right.
And when we talk about testimonials, whatever format, written,
personal story.
It's a personal story, and then it's at least before and after, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I used to owe a lot of money to the IRS, and through working with Harry for 2 years, now they were able to reduce 70% of that huge number. It was a relief to me. So it's different than like, yay, I own a restaurant, and Harry and his wife, they are great. You should go with them. That's, you know, like, so maybe something that I encourage you to do will be to kind of like, hey, how has been your experience with you? Like, oh, we just applied. I think we just got and then the good thing is, because you're a service company, you interact, right? And that's the beauty. It's almost for us, like, as a boutique marketing agency, we work with each client in a regular basis. So you establish that relationship. You kind of like know what all the steps. And once you got it, like, hey, well done, you just upload all the documents to our platform. How has been that experience for you? Was that easy? Is there something else that you would like to see, or is it oh no, everything's great, it was super easy. Oh, great. Do you know what? I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because our goal is to provide the best experience. but a lot of people, they don't have visibility on that. Would you mind sharing your experience?
So you don't necessarily wait till the end of the
You don't have to
relationship.
wait. Yes, if you go back to the like, who should you ask, right? Current clients, even
yeah.
the middle process too.
Right.
Because again, why is that? Because we want to show people, right?
Right.
And then nowadays, people, they have very short attention span. Even though you can do videos, you can do posts, like it has to be bite size.
Yeah.
What we do once you create, right, the content, like what type of information we want here, you just have bite size. So you can keep requesting people like multiple testimonials, like of course, like more you ask, you need to feel. But my dad has a saying. Growing up, I would go like, "Hey Dad, may I have this clothes? Hey Dad, may I have that?" And then like, "Good job, daughter. You are exercising the first human right, which is to ask." And then I am going to exercise the second one, which is to say no. So you can ask your clients to about their experience throughout, like the process that you're going through. That's another thing too, that most people, they don't think. They're like, "Oh, I need to go to the end," and then like, ta-da! And that doesn't happen, especially for a service business like yours. 2 years window, right? Like you can, get their feedback easily. So now that we know how to ask, so they're gonna say like, "Yes, Harry, like that was super easy to use your platform. Yes, I would love to do this." Okay, great. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send you a link to this platform. Where's that? Where's it? Forms. Oh. Let me show you. And then you can come and leave it over there. So, for example, do you remember that I spoke about the nonprofit Alchemist? So what they do once their program is over, "Hey, foodpreneur, here's what you should be doing." And then there are multiple formats for you to record video review. And then the person records, and it is the same for your say like, "Hi, it's Katarina. I own tons of money, the IRS, and didn't know what to do. As you can see, I own because I don't like numbers. I love what I do, but I really need help. I stumbled into Harry and his wife, looked online, did my research, and then going through their free phone call and assessment was very helpful to me to make a educated decision, a comfortable decision. Don't feel good sharing numbers, but we bonded, and then that made me. And then now, after 3 months in working with them, I was able to finally put all my numbers together thanks to their guidance, and I'm in a good spot to reduce hopefully half of what I owe. So if that is not enough, if you would like to also save half of what you owe, I would highly encourage at least give them a call and see if that it's for you. Bye. So this platform, as you can see, you can record the video, right? Up to 5 minutes. I will put my name and email, and then also the cool thing is I hereby grant permission to share this review. So that's another thing that's very important. Once you use like the right platform, have their consent.
Of course.
And if they don't click there, you at least will have this, and then you can go from there. So you can use the same platform. So I'm gonna go back um, uh, and and then you will see the audio, and the audio is pretty much the same, right? You come here, you create the audio, and then it's like, yeah, tell me a business that does not owe anything to the RS. Well, I used to owe a lot. It was very frightening to, you know, thinking own the money that I didn't have because I had to survive through my business. And then luckily I stumbled into Harry and his wife. They were able to make sense of my finances. They're amazing tax. They play by the rules, and highly encourage it. I was skeptical at first, right, because I wasn't in a good situation, but they really guided me through. I felt very comfortable after the first introductory call with them, and highly encourage if you're in the same situation to at least speak to them. Just as a side note, they saved me. They reduced 70% of what I owe. It was in a window of 2 years, but it was really, really good, and amazing value, pennies on the dollar. And then here's the audio, right? Yeah, tell me a business that does not owe anything to the RS. And then it's the same thing, right? You can also upload image if they want, right? So 2 platforms. The one that we use is called feedspace.com. That is the platform. Another one, it's a little bit different, but does the same thing. It's called vibe.ai. You can also, you know, like, it's great steps. Put your logo on it, even if you so those are the 2 platforms that you can get it, and send your link, your people to come here and to leave the testimonial, right? So we saw that there is like a checkbox for them to give you permission. So that is something super, super, super important, sure, right? To make sure that you don't get in trouble, especially like finances, and your line of work has a lot of, you know, rules, what you can say and not say. So it's worth to have, you know, like the right documentation. Even if people say something like, hey, I'm just going to write, you know, an email just to confirm, and then you have the checkbox, the platform manages for you. Another thing that I want to show you is kind of like, for example, and then I'm gonna have to double check on your industry, but if you, first thing is to ask them. The second thing is for you to say what you do, and I'm gonna show you like a pretty cool, where is that? Here we go. So a pretty cool like script. So I have to tell you about a client of mine. They own a restaurant in Elk Grove. They were struggling with their taxes, right? Him and like 99% of the businesses. So they tried to do themselves, but with a lot of, you know, like with not much knowledge, not much time, not being their strength, they felt super overwhelming, and they kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until 6 months late, they double what they own, because they own 12% more by not filing that paper. They came to us because we were able to make sense of their numbers and take that burden out of the shoulder by providing, you know, like educated, easy to comprehend taxes service. It was really nice to see the relief on their face, right? Because two years ago they came, and then now they own only 70% of what they owe. Is that your case? Do you owe anything to the IRS? Don't you like to do your taxes? Well, if you're ready to leverage and be in good terms with your taxes, call me, email me, schedule the free consultation, and so on. So this is you narrating somebody else's story without being too specific. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's another way you can do it. If okay, because the idea is not have testimonial for have testimonials, but to really educate people, use their voices in your business to educate prospects. So here we go. How to get clients to leave testimonials, right? As you said, your process so far, okay, you have the one-on-one, and then so and then you create, you write an endorsement, and you ask their permission. That's what I heard you saying. One good way to do it is to give kind of like a template, right? So before working with Harry and his wife, I was struggling with my taxes, or I was behind my taxes, which most people do. I tried to do myself, but it didn't work. Then I found the name of a company, and what stood out for me was how easy it was to share. And then after just one phone call, or easy upload files, regular calls, I saw that I was paying way more by doing myself. So now I feel really confident, and I wouldn't recommend them. And I would recommend them everyone who doesn't like numbers, who doesn't like tax, who owes, or whatever is your specialty, right? Or who is doing real estate transactions, or whatever it is. So you can, once you ask them, it's hey, you can give this to them, and then they will be able to just fill out in their own shoes, right? I am a real estate investor. I am a business owner, restaurant owner, spa owner, whatever you and then that's gonna be there in a very short sentence. They will fill out this through their worldview. I think I have something else there. So do you recall another thing that we do, if you want visuals? So for you, one thing that you can do is to create, let me show you here. So this website here, it's really easy for you to create visuals. One thing that you can do is to log in. I think it's free for you can put taxes, or you can change everything from colors to text, and then you download this image and put it on your email signature. How has been your experience? Please share your story.
Yeah.
That is something that you can always leave there, right? Because a lot of people, they as I said, you have clients that they go and they stumble you into the grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Oh, thank you so much, Harry. Oof, what a relief, right? To own way less. It was 2 years, but oh my gosh, thank you so much for your praise. Mm-hmm. Do you recall the last email that I sent you? Well, you can go to my email signature. I would love for you to click on the link, that image, and give that feedback. One thing that happens most people, they do not have this like easy access for people. So people, they don't know it, where they should go. So you can have like a printed paper, right? Or even like if people come to you, kind of like stand a poster like this, or an email signature. So the way they can click and go to the platform, right, to leave you a review. Where is that? Oh. Then they can come and they leave you a review on the platform. So that is one thing that I highly encourage you to do, is to, or even text. It doesn't have to be like fancy. You can just like, how has your experience with us? Let us know. Click here, and then share your story. Like, that's another way. Where were you? Yeah, so the idea for you to do banners, do postcards and flyers, and you can give this, like short example to them. So the way it's easier, it's kind of like fill up the blanks. So okay, so far we have the visuals, right? Like the email signature, the flyers, the posters with a QR code going to that platform, right? FeedSpace or Vibe.ai. There are many. There is a big list that you can use it. So the goal is for us to I'm sure like you have your Rolodex, partners, previous clients. For the previous clients, what we can do, where is that? I have so much things open. You can, I don't know, where is that? So we do have like a sequence of 3 emails that you can ask them, right? You just go and send an email mass like, hey, it was so nice to, I'm putting stories together, and I would love to hear your experience. If you could share, here's the link. And then you send to everybody, like, and because again, like some go to spams, other people they're gonna open, some here and there, but at least you're gonna start to collect and see it, right? From now behind. Another thing too that you can do is to make a video requesting testimonials, right? That is something. Do you have like a social media presence or not yet?
Not too much.
Not too much. Yeah.
My wife and I have been doing this part-time while we just retired from our
okay.
regular job. I was an attorney, and she was working for the state as an auditor. So we've been doing this tax-related work, kind of side hustle. And then we got, when we retired, we took over the clientele of a retiring CPA.
Okay.
And so we haven't had to do too much marketing to handle the initial caseload, but I in particular want to kind of get a marketing program launched here.
Yeah, again, like, because sounds to me, if you bought another business, they already have their, like you have your Rolodex of clients.
Right, but he was a very senior person who didn't do it much social media at all.
Yeah.
So there's really not an infrastructure there, but there's a lot of clients that were in the
Yeah. One thing that I like to do, because our agency, we think differently. So most people they think of channels. For us, we do like a bird eye view, in a sense, like, what do I want to communicate? And then from that, what do I want to communicate? Now, where do I communicate? Some people is like, oh my gosh, now TikTok is the new thing. Now is this, they are platform specific, but it might not work for you, right? Because like probably your clientele like has a different demographics. They would
Certainly
not be on this.
existing folks we've been working with, but you know, to get more folks, we might need different channels to begin with. We don't
Yes,
really have channels right now.
Yeah, the idea is to start with one, right? The one that you know that has the biggest possibility. And the good thing that I see about you, because you take care, you have a solution for a very painful and specific problem. So by using the right keywords, relief, IRS, like you will be able to really, trigger and gets people attention, right? So that is something that's in your favor, that I see it. So again, we also have, let me show you here. I guess this one. So when you launch, promotional post. Are you familiar with ChatGPT?
Sure.
A little bit. Okay. So we create those agents that you can go like. They go and then they keep asking you, okay, tell me about this information, and then they go and then they create the post for you. Right? About like how to ask, what problem, again, what's the benefit. So after you give that information for your business, so they will give you a few variations of posts for you to do on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So that resource, it's on, you can find it by scanning. And it's the same thing. So the video request script, the email sequence, and the social media post, you have like one agent for each one, and then you just populate with your business information, and we go from there. So now, what we have here is one question that we hear very often: should I give any incentives for people to leave a testimonials? Some business, they like it, they need, right, to bump their presence, others don't. So it's kind of like a preference, but let me show you what it looks like. So we do have in our tools library, what is it? Let me show you. Incentives and perks list. And here are a few examples, right? You can give discount, we can give like free things, you can give exclusive access, loyalty point, giveaways, gift cards very often. Fill out, give me a testimonial, and then I will mail you a $25 Amazon card. That it's very common. If you could give us, if the service was beneficial to you and you want to share your experience, we will donate to Elk Grove's child support, like the charity, on your behalf as a way to thank you and to keep improving our community. Feature like, hey, could you please, that is something probably not in your case, but so for example, one of our clients, they sell high-end outdoor furniture company, and their main clients are interior designers. Because the company is so big and they have so many followers, the way that we approach is like, hey, I would love you to learn about your creative process by using the furniture. If you give our testimonials, we will be able to, share your story with our 100,000 followers and so on, and it's going to give you visibility. So that is kind of like an incentive that we use by trying to, hey, we have this big of audience, and then we will promote you pretty much, right? Give you exclusive content, personal thank you notes, and so this is something that can be on your sleeve when you ask for. Or another thing too would be like, oh, I don't know, like, okay, what's holding you back from sharing your experience? And let them talk. Oh, I'm shy. Okay, so would that help if we just record an audio? You don't have to have your face. Oh, I don't want to disclose my numbers. Like, no problem. If you have to talk about the transformation in a broad terms, instead of you mention that you own $500,000, how about if we say so like, hey, I owe like a lot? Would that help? So that is another example. One thing that I think it's going to be important is there are 4 ways to recording, right? So we have written, we have audio, we have video, and then also the platform, most platforms, especially FeedSpace, does allow you to record screen share. So for example, if I say like, hey, it's so easy, their platform is so easy to upload, here it goes, here's how it looks, and you can screen record. There are pros and cons, right? And so that's why on the emails when we request, we mention to them like, hey, do you know what? If you don't feel comfortable, if you're shy in videos, you can have text, you can have audio. So again, like every business and even person, you know, like they by providing multiple ways, if you provide too much, can be like overwhelming, right? So what we did here for Alchemist is, we want content, they need content for the social media, so it has to be visual. So that's why they just video or audio, because the audio we can put a picture or a logo or the product and have the voiceover, right?
What about using it, an AI generated voice, just having maybe with text scrolling across, I don't know whether that's...
Yeah, it's I would put a disclaimer that it's kind of like the voice, it's not like it's from the person, but the content is. So it's just for transparency.
Right.
I'm in favor of that, because again, like eventually you will have enough people, right? Because one thing how people get wrong with testimonials, they think it's a one-off. I ask everybody, and then no, from time to time, like every month, like how many people have you asked? Like when you have your weekly or your monthly business review, how many testimonials have you asked? How many we got it? So if you have the habits like, oh, we didn't, so let's send an email, let's call people, I remember, and then you make that effort. So that's one thing that we advise, and our most successful companies that get a lot of really good testimonials are because they implement that system that like always on the first, how many we got, they go to the platform and they check, right, how many they received. And then if they didn't receive anyone, and says, Tim, let's go, let's promote. Did that answer your question?
Well, I mean, you're making the point that you have to keep it fresh and not stale.
And then the request, right? The request, again, like as we mentioned previously, you don't have to just ask like old clients.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole different populations of folks you can ask.
Correct. So So pretty much you publish. So one thing too that we have on the is, as you mentioned, right? The ideal testimonials, especially on your website, would be the written transformation right before and after. Their name, where they're from, especially by being local, right? It will help you very much. Do you work mainly with local people or nationwide?
Oh, local.
Local, right? So it would be nice to have like somebody like Catalina Monia for online marketing, Rockland. John Smith, restaurant, ABC, Elk Grove. No. It gives you, right? Like. So one of the things that is nice to put in to add on the testimonials is name, photo, company, and location. So those are things that for sure it gives you authenticity, right? Like it's not somebody like, it's not AI, it's not like it's here, it's local. I know what Sacramento is like. I know what Grove or Rockland. So it always, there are ways for you to establish yourself and your authority by adding those. But again, you need permission.
Sure.
Another thing too, once we do the customer journey, right? The website, it's your online real estate, right? And it's very important for you to sprinkle your testimonials throughout your website. Even if it's a one-page website, you have sections about us, and then you're gonna put testimonials about how it is. Like, hey, I was very impressive. Like, I keep coming back because he worked for the government, so he knows what it's like. Or like everything that for each section, you create bite-sized content and testimonials related to that topic to give you, like authority and endorse you. So you were a service company, but let me show you something, because you can use videos. So this is a Shopify. Shopify has a lot of like apps that you can buy, and then you can do it, and you can sprinkle website videos in a lot of different ways. So here, for example, let me give you like try section view demo store. So here's you can go in and you can put like the testimonials here. So these is ways that you can sprinkle. This is one example. If you have a online store, you can put the videos here next to the buying button. What we do here at Flow, so we create testimonials with just a sequence, a block. So anyway, my suggestion is that once you have the testimonials, to sprinkle on your website. Like you can create sections, especially if you have a Shopify website. It's very easy by using the section factory. Or you can use, like the infographic as a reference and have all those items. Now, again, like we mentioned about you creating block time to review and improve and keep asking, right? One of the tools that you have access is the reviews audit checklist. So we also use another agent that's like, hey, go online and look for the name of the business, that location, see what the internet tells me, how many reviews, what the feedback that I get from them. And then if you keep doing this audit from time to time, once a month, you will see progress, right? Because you've been asking, you've been collecting, you've been publishing, and then now it gives you where your business is at. Another thing too, most people like, okay, now what do I do with the videos? Like, hey, put the videos there. How many, clicks we got it? How many feedbacks we got from that? So those are two tools that are very helpful once you implement the system. So as I said, we do have, right? You have access to all these tools here. But one thing that I want to get from it, right? I travel, and then we went to this restaurant. We were super tired, and then at the end, we went to Cape Town, South Africa, and then they don't have that many resources, right? Like so, piece paper and a piece, and then guidance. Go to Google, look for the name of the restaurant, go click reviews, and mention me. So this very happy, helpful, and then of course I wrote a review. 1 out of the 1,500. So
they're pretty successful in getting them with that.
Yeah, because they do have the habit to ask. So so my point is, we can do all of that, right? We can keep make sure that you get testimonials. Mm-hmm. But going back to what my dad said, just ask. Ask. It's your right to ask, right? But of course, if you ask the proper way, you'll be more successful. And then even if I will do everything right, some people will simply say no, and that's okay too, because they are in their right. But if you come from a place to really share the impact, right, and their transformation, you'll be successful. And that's what we've been seeing.
Well, that's a great presentation. I'm kind of getting the whole load here, but thank you very much.
Yes. Do you have like any questions?
Well, in terms of your own services,